In this training nugget, I'm going to cover how to optimize video for use within your xLights sequences. Now, what I find is that people put videos into their sequences without optimizing, and they end up with huge sequence files. So 99% of the time, if your sequence is absolutely massive, it's probably because you have got some videos there that are huge and complete overkill for what is needed by xLights. Now, you're going to need a tool to fix this problem. And if you just go to your search of choice and search for a tool called Handbrake, it'll probably be the first link. And here you have the option to download, and it's available for multiple operating systems, so you should be able to use it on your operating system of choice. So we're going to be tackling the reduction of size of a video file in several different ways. So we're going to look at the file format, the resolution, the compression quality, and the duration. So with that in mind, I've selected a video file here called flashinglights.mov. Now, I see this file all the time, and the reason is this was shipped with the xLights Around the World sequence for The Greatest Showman. And let's look at the first thing. Is it has a file format here. If you look at the end of MOV, MOV tends to create quite big files, bigger than what xLights needs. I'm not saying it's a bad file format, but we will be able to get much better compression by using a different file format. So that's one of the things we're going to tackle. Now, if we right click on here and select properties, if you're using a Mac, it'll be under file info rather than properties. And let's have a look here at information about this video file. Firstly, it's 10 seconds long. Now, if we're going to be using the entire video, that's absolutely fine. But most of the time, you may only be using 2 seconds of the video file. Okay, the next thing is the frame width, 3840 by 2160. So let's see what that equates to. 3840 times 2160. So look, we've got over 8 million pixels there. Now, unless you're Disneyland, I assume that you don't have 8 million pixels in your show. Now, also, you may be applying this to a matrix, so you will know the amount of pixels, and I'll cover that in a moment. But for all house effects, you're still not going to be up at that sort of number. The next thing we can actually consider is this frame rate. Although I'm quite happy with the 25 frames per second, I think that's okay. So let's have a look at this file, and first thing we start, if we look here, is 40 megabytes in size, and let's see if we can improve that. So I'm going to open up the tool called Handbrake. And there we go, I've got Handbrake ready. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this video file, this unoptimized video file, into xLights. So I'm going to drop a video effect and I'm going to put it on a matrix. And I'm just going to imagine this is 2 seconds. That's all I'm interested in, the 2 seconds. So we can see the effect there. Now I will tell you now, this matrix is 200 pixels by 150. I don't own this matrix, it's just for this example. Your matrix may be a lot smaller, so you can optimize more. So, and I only need 2 seconds. So with this in mind, let me go to Handbrake again, and you see it's here, it's saying drop the file here. So I'm going to pick up the MOV file and I'm going to drop it into place. And I'm going to choose, in this case, very fast 576 25 frames a second. Okay, if you've got more time, you could use this fast if you wanted, but I just want to do this quick for the demo. Now if I go to the dimensions, you can see here the source is 3840 by 2160, and that is what would be in here as well. It's just I've been playing with it before, so because I've selected it, it's already reduced the size. But this is fine. This will reduce the file quite considerably, but I'm going to really optimize it. So I told you that my matrix was 200 pixels by 150. Now, if I wasn't worried about squishing the image, I could just enter in here, 200 by 150. But if I want to maintain the aspect ratio, all I need to do is open up my calculator and I'm going to divide these numbers here, 3840 divided by 2160. So this is a 1.777 recurring aspect ratio. I'm just going to put that into the memory, and I said I wanted my height to be 150. So I'm going to go 150 and multiply that by my aspect ratio, and it gives me 266. So in this case, I can put 150 and I can put 266 here. I wouldn't worry about it too much in a video like this. Even if it was crunched down, it wouldn't matter, because all it's actually doing is putting flashing effects on whatever prop or house effect you're going to do. But I'm going to use that anyway. So we've catered for one of the elements, which is the resolution. Next, I'm going to look at the video quality. So you can see currently it's set to 22. I'm going to slide this down to 25, and the bigger the number, the more it's compressed, so the quality will reduce. In xLights, it really doesn't matter. You're not going to notice the quality reduction. So, if you really want to experiment, you can go further than this as well. Now, the final part is, this is a 10-second clip, but as you can see, I'm only using 2 seconds of it. So if I go to this area here where it says chapters and change this to seconds, you can see it's got 0 and it's got a 10 for 10 seconds. I'm just going to change this to 02. I'm only interested in 2 seconds of this clip. Once I'm happy now, I can click Start Encode. It's now going to work through this file, and we've finished. Let's see what the result is. So I've now got a new file here. You notice the file format has changed to MP4. It's added a -1 onto the file name, but you can rename that if you so wish. But let's look at the actual file size. 40 megabytes, the original, 82 kilobytes. That is phenomenal. But let's look at the impact on our display. So I've got the matrix here. I'm going to drop the video effect into place. Okay. And I'm going to now select new video file, which is the MP4. And if I flip between the two, you can see it's not a whole lot of difference. Okay. If you wanted to retain even more quality, you would just not slide that quality slider down and you'd get, a lot less compression artifacts. But considering more than likely this type of an effect you're not going to be using on a matrix anyway, you're going to be doing something like this, where you drop it onto the entire house. And you can see I'm still using that MP4 all house effect, and I think you'll agree that looks absolutely fine. I need to put this in a loop. And there you go. If we look at that all house effect, ignore this, this is the other one. You can see the all house effect is absolutely fine, and we have a file size that is considerably smaller. So I hope you found that useful, and until next time, see you later.